Capricorn, welcome to your Celtic cross reading. What's up? What's going on? Show me Capricorn, please. Show me that Capricorn collective. Show me Capricorn. Show me Capricorn. Show me Capricorn. Like always, take what resonates, leave it does not. And if there's more than one energy clearly apparent to you on this board today, then you reverse those energies as you see fit. These are, after all, general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate. Frustrating, but normal. Check the placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Show me Capricorn. Show me Capricorn. Show me Capricorn. What's up, Cappy? What's up? What's going on, please? Show me Capricorn. Okay. Seven of Pentacles, crossing the Tower. Okay. Well, somebody somewhere in the universe saying it's time for change a little bit. Hovering influence, Four Swords. Time to rest. Think, reflect. King of Cups in the past. Exiting, a sense of strength, willpower. Interesting. Before you, the Star. And it might be time to cultivate new soils. Interesting. Okay. Four of Pentacles is your strengths. Virgo had that same one, and I promise you, I shuffle these many times in between readings. Never mind what you see on camera. So if you have some Virgo in your chart, check theirs out. Although I will tell you now, theirs was not the easiest read. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, you might be getting signals from the universe. It's time to change, honey. Might be time to plant new seeds, cultivate new soil. It's good stuff, though. In your environment, Five of Pentacles, yeah, things are breaking, but for a reason. Breaking with purpose, I suppose. Hopes and fears, Page of Cups, you being willing to open your heart towards this. The outcome, the world, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Strength is on the exit. That kind of tells me whatever it is you've been doing with diligence, strength of will, willpower, you might be opening up towards something altogether because you are experiencing some sort of radical influx now. It just may not be apparent yet because you're like, your things are kind of normal in Capricorn world right now. Seven of Pentacles, we're going to start right there. And when that influence finally arrives, when it comes through, you'll go into a Four of Swords, a place of contemplation and rest. Let's see that Seven of Pentacles, please. What's going on? Show me that Seven of Pentacles, show me that Seven of Pentacles, show me that Seven of Pentacles. Show me that Seven of Pentacles, please. A little bit of influence can go a long way, so I don't know how big that tower is, but it's enough to start shifting things. Let's see that Seven of Pentacles, please. Nine of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Five of Cups. You're like, I'm not actively constructing with so-and-so, so I don't know who so-and-so is to you, but it's an outside person, external to you. You're like, I'm not getting along with them and you can't make me. I don't want to make you. You either do or you don't. You showed me you've kept up a pretty good act of I haven't that, whatever that is. So Three of Pentacles here, let's just call it friendship. Nine of Wands, you have been actively suppressing, if not aggressively, a connection with somebody. You're like, I refuse to repair things with that person. No, we will not get along. And like I said, you can't make me. Again, I don't want to make you. I just know that the more you suppress it, the more upset you are. Five of Cups. So whatever this is it represents an unhealed state of some sort of cooperation, hence friendship. It may not be that. It might be a colleagueship, as in work. It could be some sort of connectivity with a family member. But you're saying it's with you now, and it upsets you to this day. Even though it's spilled cups of the past, Five of Cups, you're saying it still kind of pisses you off to this day. So you still find the need to suppress it to this day, not participate or activate or anything else. So whatever that is, you've been doing this for a hot minute, Seven of Pentacles. You're also saying in the overall sense you can do that as the day is long. This isn't the first person that you've kind of actively rejected working things out with, because they upset you, but it still kind of stays in that unresolved state. But with the Seven of Pentacles behind it all, as you go about your life business, you're saying, oh, you can hold out a grudge. You're familiar with that territory, this Capricorn. This is interesting. It's different for you. It's different for you. Typically, I just see Capricorn cut ties. Because even anger and resentment for Capricorn, who really prizes utility, you know, high efficiency, this is still a waste of energy. I'm not saying you don't have reason to be upset. I'm not saying you don't have reason to be pissed off. What I'm saying is, so long as you continue to act like nothing's wrong and you refuse to participate, it still leaves the wounds open and fresh and frustrating. But I'm looking at you. This Capricorn is saying, I can hold a grudge as the day is long. What's up? Let's see that Tower. Show me the Tower, please. Show me the Tower. Show me the Tower. Show me the Tower. Capricorn is all about efficiency, cutting the fat. Okay, this is what I will do, this is what I won't do. Everything else is nonsensical, otherwise, it's just not working for me. It might for you, but not for me. This is what I do. Da-da-da. Okay, that's it. That's what you do. So holding out resentment, refusing to cooperate, knowing that, but not changing anything, that begrudging feeling carries over, and it's a drain of your own particular emotional resources, and possibly your life resources too, because I do see it here in the 3D world. It's interesting. Completely different group of Capricorns I feel like I've tuned into. Let's see that Tower, please. Show me the Tower. Show me the Tower. Let's see that influence comes in to break this up. Oh, coffee's ready. Ha ha, the movement. Chariot, Queen of Pentacles, the Four Swords. Ha 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 ha. Oh, yeah. A little bit of influence can go a long way, honey. It's not yours. It's something coming towards you, and it's in the interest of peace. That's why you go into a state of rest too, is because somebody else already has. And they're saying in the interest of coming forward, nurturing, love, care, not only for you, but for whatever this situation represents. I have to agree with the universe. Whatever this influence here is necessary, because your baseline is showing me this is anti-self-interest. This is anti-self-worth. And that you've been kind of stuck in that mode for a long time. But you're also saying you're used to it. You could do this all day long if you wanted to. I believe you. But is that the best use of your time, energy, and effort? And then also, P.S., knowing your self-worth. Well, the answer to that is no. But I can't tell you. You have to see it for yourself. And something's going to be coming through soon. Not quite yet. That's going to show you that kind of feeling of just suppress it, be angry about it. That'll show them. Okay, again, I'm not accusing you. That's what's in the cards here today. You either relate with that or you don't. That's it. Full stop. It's going to show you that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is take time to rest, nurture, and care for ourselves. And understanding our self-worth, we move forward, not stay stuck. So how do you know when blocking something or someone is a measure of your self-worth? You actually feel better for it, and parts of you start to thrive. If you are anti-thriving, okay, and you're still holding on to grudges, and it still makes you feel angry, depressed, or bitter, then that's how you know blocking it's not helping you. It's anti-self-worth. We want to get into a state of self-worth and then therefore move forward. If it was really that petty and beneath us and we let it go, we would have gone into this state already. Okay? But you didn't let it go. It's still with you, right? Something's going to help you rise into the positive influence where we need to take this. And it's coming in the form of peace. It does. It looks like it's peaceful. So who or what this is, I don't know. But it's going to help you operate into your own Four Swords. Whatever this influence is, may you be receptive to it. Tarot doesn't dictate choice. You do. Tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it. It's a nurturing, well-intended person that I think is going to influence you and help shape you into the direction you need to really let this go, or to engage in it in a healthier way. In other words, a positive influence. That's all I see here. It should knock you, hopefully, into your own Four Swords and give you the sense of perspective and maybe even peace that you need about healing and how to rise to the occasion and rise above it and beyond it and get past this. Okay? All right, let's see that Four Swords, please. But that Tower, ushering in this particular person's energy, is going to reflect on where you could be. Okay? All right. I'm seeing that as a healthy outside influence. May you be receptive to it. I hope that you are. It looks very peaceful. It looks very calm. I don't think this is the person that we have a grudge with. I think this is a positive but unexpected influence that's going to help you rise into that kind of particular energy that says, we're so much bigger than this. You know? We need to know what our self-worth is, and that means resting on particular subjects, and therefore not feel stuck in it and small and angry anymore. We can do better. That's the idea, right? Let's see that Four of Swords for you. The influence that is yet to be. Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Cups. You're wondering now that you are actually pulling back the lens, again, after this influence makes itself known. That's when you start to pull back the lens yourself and say, huh, let me think about it. Cool, that's a start. I'll take that. Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Cups. You really, realistically start asking yourself, can I do this work? And can I bring this together? And it looks positive. Three of Cups. So whatever emotional disparity you were experiencing before, but you kind of stayed there, not shifting it, you're going to actually start seeing avenues for yourself about what does it mean to work through something. And then you're going to have a much more realistic standard about whether or not you can quote unquote fix this or participate with it. You will have that answer for yourself soon enough. Because you could do Two of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Okay? Going quiet, reflecting, healing about your actual practical reality and what it is that you can do. You're going to start questioning, what can I give to this and how much? Because when you start to work through that, you start to feel better. So whatever that positive but perhaps unexpected influence is, it was just what you needed to get you out of this stuckness. Okay? I do think that's an unexpected tower, but it's not huge. It was the right influence at the right time. I don't know how else to put that, but it does seem to be coming in soon. And it immediately knocks you into this place of functionality. As I work through this, and I reasonably start to ask myself, what can I give to this? What do I want to give to this? And that would make everybody feel good. This is more workable, literally. You start seeing things for workable, that's my stutter. Workable solutions where you couldn't see them before. You were adamant in rejecting those, and now you're not so adamant. Okay? So that's good. That's what we call progress. Very good. King of Cups is in your past. We're going to go ahead and clarify that. I think I'm about to see the heart of the issue here and why you were so adamant that fuck them, I'm not working with them. Is right there with that King of Cups. I strongly suspect somebody crossed your heart space and you hadn't quite forgiven them, you know. And forgiveness is a tricky thing. I'm not one of those people who be like, you need to forgive, you need to forgive. I actually have lived a real life. I've had real difficult emotional experiences where a lot has been on the line. So I know you can't just pull forgiveness out of the air and out of your ass. You have to mean it. Real person, real talk. Okay? I know what it is to have the fullness of heart and have someone cross it. You know, forgiveness is no easy thing. So when you're telling me you go within and you actually start working with potential solutions instead of just assuming to tell the other situation or person to fuck off, I believe you. That means you made progress. That's no joke. Let's see that King of Cups, please, in the past. Forgiveness is no easy thing, okay? Especially if you feel like you've been crossed in a big way. The only reason I'm advocating you work through this is because when you work through it, you feel less helpless, mean, and stuck, which is just not who you are. Whatever the influence is, it was beautiful. It was a good influence, and I think it was fleeting, but it was just the influence you needed. About what self-worth really is, and that you, Capricorn, are worth doing a Four of Swords in order to move on with the Chariot or move forward. Try not to nurture the old wounds and the old sense of begrudgingness. Understand what workable solutions are, because if you really want to work through something, you will, and if you really don't, you won't. Okay? Okay. Let's see that King of Cups. We have, the Devil. There you are. Five of Pentacles. The Hanged Man. Okay. We've had a lot of time to get perspective on this. You really feel like you were betrayed here. The Devil, the Five of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. Your heart's not been doing so well ever since. So this represents, whatever this represents, is a heavy sense of betrayal to you personally. Five of Pentacles. You really feel that whatever this is, you did a full exposure with your heart with it, and just for it to abandon you. And you were terrified of this, and it happened anyway. Right? But you were kind of suspending judgment to that situation. The Hanged Man. You'd been trying to gain insight on it, So it's not as painful as it used to be. That's good. But you actually being willing to work through it are two different things. Somebody crossed your heart in a very real way, and it evoked all your worst fears right there of abandonment. It was really real to you. And bless you, I know you've been trying to do a job of learning ever since, but that sense of smallness and I can't forgive this or get over it has really been in your way. I had a sneaking suspicion you would only show me that level of, let's call it pettiness, begrudging pettiness, unless something like this happened, and that's what you showed me. Something like this happened. This was the highest level of betrayal to you because it broke your heart. You might have some really strong water in your chart, particularly Scorpio. And I could see where that Scorpio-Capricorn combination is a hell of a thing. Emotional loyalty runs deep for Scorpio. Your sense of, this is mine, and I claim it. You have pros, honey. I know. I get it. If death was here, I'd point that out to you, too. We get the worst rap. I say all the time, all cards, all signs have pros and cons. You have amazing pros. You really do. Unfortunately, you get delegated to a very shitty corner in tarot. That's not Capricorn's fault. It's the reader. You have amazing pros. And when something crosses you in the worst way, it's really hard for you to let go of it. So I was surprised. Like I said, I'm tuning into a different group of Capricorns because that's typically not what I see you do. Unless it's that bad. For Capricorn, it's just not efficient, you see, to hold on to breakages and other people's insecurities unless it was that badly imprinted on you. I got you. Okay. In that case, believe it or not, I'm actually happy to see your strength on the exit. The more that you work through this, and practically speaking, how can I actually work through this and maybe connect to it more positively than I have done? Your strength or sense of pride is starting to come down. How we use strength is entirely up to us. You can use strength to reject or strength to do what's right for you. Either way, it takes strength. So if you're going to be strong for the right reasons. You got to know what those are, though. That's it. Yeah, I had a sneaking suspicion with that King of Cups in the past, honey. Here's the thing. You were terrified that that was going to happen because it meant a lot to you. You had a full heart for this, and it ended up breaking yours anyway. Hanged Man, you knew that was a realistic possibility, however, and you've been thinking on that quite a bit. Not enough to kind of change your output, but enough to understand that you felt it coming and the worst possible thing did happen, and it's been really hard for you to forgive that person ever since. So in that case, we're really more mad at ourselves than the other person because it's that thing where we kick ourselves in the ass later. I should have known. I should have known. I did know. I knew they were going to do this, but right? So it's not that you're really mad and angry still at that person or that friend or that whatever. It's because you felt it. You just didn't want to give in to the fear. So you trusted it, and it ended up breaking your heart. Right? You were hoping it wouldn't, but it did anyway. So that's the part where we need to forgive ourselves. And that's what understanding your self-worth is, which is why I like this influence for you. 9 of Cups, 10 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, you know? This kind of false bravado that you're happy about this ending, that you're wild about this ending, that's exiting. Okay? That is false bravado. Again, it's not an accusation, guys. It's literally the crap we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better. That's exiting. And that's one of the reasons why you opened up with this really small energy. They hurt me. Fuck them. It's really sulky for Capricorn. Told you. That sense of hurt and betrayal had to be so high for Capricorn to do this. I know you. I know your sign. You think I don't? I do. And I said something up really must have happened because Capricorn typically don't waste time on spilled cups. It's not practical. So you typically just won't unless it was that bad, and it was that bad. But you staying in that is not helping you, and it doesn't feel good. That false sense of bravado was fine. I'm happy about the ending. I'm wild about the ending. I love that ending. I would do it 10 more times. That's bullshit. That's exiting. Okay? We want that to exit. It's not true. Let's see your bridge point, which is the star. Okay? Let's see that star. I'm not saying you have to kiss and make up with whoever did it. What I'm saying is forgive yourself first. See your worth, honey. It's not worth holding on to this, even if you don't want to work through it with them. You don't have to. Work through it for yourself first and foremost. Everything begins with the self. You know? You don't want to keep feeling shitty about this situation. Work through it. You know? You can at least say you love this with your authentic heart before it hurts you. And that's the real part of you. Okay? That's the real truth. Some of the stars, some of the stars, some of the star. Some of the star. Seven of Cups, Ten of Wands, Justice. You're finding it difficult to open up to new sources of inspiration, dreams, and hopes, but you want to. So that's one of the benefits of doing cleanup work and kind of allowing yourself to drop this falseness of beliefs. Once you start to understand what it is that you would like to feel and would like to do, then you'll start to see it more and more as an option. That's what I see for you. I don't actually see you making peace with whatever this is. I see you trying to make the peace with yourself first and foremost, and then you start to see what's available towards you that's not this stuff. You can start to let it go a little bit more every day, which is what I want for you. What you're showing me with is that I want to connect with other opportunities outside of myself. I feel like I'm more capable of doing this now, as you should be. Once you start letting go of those small, petty, angry energies, I'm not saying again that you don't have reason to. I'm just saying it's been with you too long and it's taking away from other choices in your life. I agree. We want to open you up to other things that actually do feel correct for you. And you're showing me you're afraid, but that you're going to do it anyway. Now that's more like the Capricorn spirit. Yeah. I see you balancing up against yourself about options and wanting to be more open towards them. You're just finding it difficult, the Ten of Wands. But you're also saying it's right for you. Justice is that you want to have hopes, dreams, and desires and a sense of balance once more. And that's why you're working through all this, honey. It's not for them or they, it's for you, first and foremost. Even if you never forgive them or that situation or you never see it again, it's for you, first and foremost. Right? It is really hard for us to see other things in our life when we are so focused on what didn't work or failed. And now that you're working through it and you're letting go of these false notions of you're over the moon about what happened, that was a lie. We can let that go and let that false energy go, let that false belief go, and then you can start seeing other things that have been there this whole time. You will do right for you in future, more so now than you have been in the recent past. I promise. You're going to start seeing what's there and stop focusing on what isn't, honestly. And that's really half of what moving on is. We stop fixating on what isn't there or what didn't work out, and then we start seeing what could be. You have a new star in you. I see you whittling it down. The only fear, Ten of Wands, is that sense of burden of having to approach or being open to new. But I still see you doing it nonetheless with justice. Okay? That star is the base and it's beautiful. You allowing yourself to be coaxed, pulled forward to engaging with a new star. That's where the resistance comes in, but that's okay. Look at what you've been fixated on for some time. The stuff that didn't work out. Okay? Oh, goodness, you were all over this one today. I know, it's been hard for you to see the truth, but if you embrace the truth, that is indeed empowerment. Okay? Okay, Four of Pentacles, your strengths. I know how to hold on, specifically in this case, to a grudge. Yes, I understand. I know. And again, I'm not laughing at you. It's just, that's where the real anger comes from, honey, is that you knew, right? You knew that this was probably going to hurt you. You just didn't want it to. I know. Okay? That's why I say the forgiveness begins with the self. Everything does. I'm glad you tried. You still knew what you knew. You felt what you felt, and it happened anyway, you know? But we can let it go now as a measure of our self-worth. about what's worth holding on to and what's worth letting go. We don't need to lie to ourselves. All right. I kind of got your Four of Pentacles. I have no idea why I'm clarifying it. You say it's your strength. I believe you. But just to be sure, there might be an origin story to that Four of Pentacles. Let's take a look. Eight of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. And holding on, you know, it's kind of the attitude with the Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Pentacles, is so slow moving that you don't see this pattern. You know, it's kind of like if I hold on to it, I might need it later. What you don't see with the Eight of Swords is how that takes a toll on you personally over time. This is the Capricorn I'm looking at. I was wondering if you had an origin story there, because you told me. You're holding on to a grudge, at least for this one. And some of you have a pattern that's been with you so long you just don't see it, or it doesn't get triggered very often. You'll hold on to things, including negative emotions, if it means you might be able to use them later. Do you really want to be able to use these negative emotions later? Because whatever this is, you had the choice to work through it with them, but I don't see you pulling that particular trigger. It's for you. You're working on this, for this, through this, for yourself, which on my end of things, that's all I care about. So if that's true, if this is not coming back around for you to re-engage with it or participate in it, if it's really lost, if it's really gone, cool. So I want you to see how this is taking a toll on you, so you don't do it again. Whatever this is, you clearly don't want to make peace with it, or it really isn't available to you anymore, but you can make peace with yourself. And see how holding on adds up over time. It keeps you from seeing other things for yourself. But it's so stretched out, and perhaps for the Capricorn I'm looking at, it's so rare that you don't see it. How much of a toll it takes on you to hold on to something just in case you need it later. You don't need this anymore. I don't see you making up with anybody. I don't see you telling anyone off either. It's repairs for you and you. The opportunity is there, but you're like, nah. I need to do this for me. Good. Make sure you see this for what it is. That way you don't get caught up in this again. Okay. Five of Pentacles in the environment. Now, I can see where your Five of Pentacles in the past, it broke your heart in some way. It may not have been a romantic partner, guys. It's just something that violated your heart space so deeply you never quite got over it, at least with that person. And that could be anybody. But it affected you. It affected your everyday life, Five of Pentacles. Particularly how you perceive yourself, your own sense of strength. And that you wanted to hold on to it just in case. Hopefully you can see how you can let that go now. Okay? Three of Pentacles, Judgment, the Fool. You know, it is your decision to open up to that Three of Pentacles. I still haven't seen you do it. I don't know that you necessarily want to. But it is your choice. The work begins with you first. If you pull it into the 3D and include them, that's up to you. It is at your disposal. I told you there's a reason why I didn't see you make up with this person. Is because you haven't decided upon that yet. It will cross your path in future. That decision. But you need to get more in line with you first, before you broach that particular subject of forgiving that outside influence, that Three of Pentacles, that friend, that somebody who violated your heart space. If you ever feel inclined there as the Fool, just know that that's your decision at your disposal for yourself in future. It's available to you as an option. That's under the idea that you've done the work for yourself first and foremost. You be at peace with you and this circumstance first. You can include them on it by your choice second, if you ever do. Forgiveness, we don't have to have the other person's. That's one of the best things about forgiveness, guys. You don't need the other person's permission to do it. You can just do it. You can be spiritually cleansed of it. They'll never know. They may not care anyway. But there is a weird sort of satisfaction in saying, I forgive them. and you know you mean it, and you can let it go. And in a weird way, that's probably the best vengeance of all. Because it's not faked. Like telling yourself you're over it and you're glad it's over. That's false. Whether or not you'll ever rope that person in, I don't know, but it's your choice. Maybe one day you'll feel that way, the Fool. Maybe you won't. It begins with you first, and that's frankly, like I said, all I care about. But that decision is distinctly and markedly at your disposal later. Told you. I didn't see it. There's the theory of it. But you defaulted to, I need to work on me first. You know, this, I am so above this. Me holding on to it is not a measure of my self-worth. And it doesn't make me feel good. And it's taken away from other life choices. Yeah. 100%. Okay. Hopes and fears. Page of Cups, little guy. Keeping your heart open towards this. Closing it off. You'll figure that out. I just know that the decision's before you, so they're related. Okay? The World is in the outcome. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Closing off, opening up, or re-engaging. Nine of Cups, the Four of Swords. There you go. The Moon. Okay. Yeah, you're going back to a place of self. You seem to believe, and I actually concur with you, that your peace is of utmost importance. If you ever encounter this again, it'll be under your decision, under your own time, and under your own particular sense of grace, and trying to work with this in the 3D. For now, you seem to be very content with you kind of gently exploring yourself and not taking for granted or assuming to know what makes you happy. You're kind of re-examining this in a quiet space. So we have the Nine of Cups, Four of Swords, the Moon. It's a bit tricky, okay, especially given the world here. So it's kind of an internal measure of what stays and what goes. What you understood wish fulfillment to be, parts of that are exiting. I already saw that over here at the Nine of Cups. That false sense of, I'm glad this is over. You're going back to the drawing board on that. What you've been telling yourself versus who you really are and what you really understand wish fulfillment is. So you're trying to keep an open mind towards what needs to stay and what needs to go. And part of some of that is being extracted by the Moon. So I know you're not done yet. Okay. There's a lot about you that you have yet to fully discover or open up towards or fully close off. And I think that's why I see you staying this decision of forgiveness and working things out with this person, is because you're saying, I assumed way too much about me to be true or not true. So I need to have a better understanding of myself before I approach that, if at all. Because you might in the end decide that you really, well and truly don't need to. That's the whole beauty of doing this kind of inner work. Once I said, like, you know, you forgive yourself and understand your own particular origin story. Why did you participate in this? Why did you put your heart on the line despite knowing all the misgivings surrounding it? Once you understand those questions and you start filling them in with answers, your need to connect with this might go way down. You may not need to at all. But you will know that and understand that for yourself the more you participate in your own journey. More so with understanding how you love yourself. What does that mean? What parts of you did you keep hidden? And what parts of you can do away with because they're not for you. And until that's fully clear, you don't need to answer that particular question. Save that one for last. Okay? You've done a lot of work, a lot of good work here. And I want you to keep at it. This will not be an overnight process. This is going to take some time. Okay? But I like what you're doing here. And I like this little bit of positive influence. I don't know who that is. And I don't know how long it stays. But when you connect with whomever this is, and it's a very gentle influence too, very nurturing, it reminds you of where it is you want to be. You know? They act as a good marker or measure for self-worth. And it's just the right influence at just the right time. I don't know how else to explain that, but they'll be coming in soon to help you with some of this. Even if it's just by example, even if a little bit. It might be just the right influence that you needed. Yeah? If you ever get to that state of grace where you can forgive this and you never have to interact with it again, that's beautiful. That's also a win, I promise. You know? If you really want to work things out with this person in future because you understand it's correct for you, based on what it is you understand and love yourself for and respect yourself for, then that's also correct. It's literally the choice is yours. But you need to understand more about who you are first. Okay? Again, not in the front door challenge, so don't take it as one, but that's up to you. Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Number 15, perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Your power number is 15. I know, it's just the influence you needed. It's just the influence you needed. The Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. I know. I know, and as I say, it's so unusual for you to stay in a place like that. You know? Capricorn famously does not carry more than they need to survive. So that's what I'm saying. Capricorn traditionally trims the fat. Stubbornness, yes. Persistence, yes. But that also means if you're going to climb those mountains the way you do, you have to know what it is you can afford to take with you. So seeing you wallow in this place of I'm pissed off, frustrated, and it upsets me, and it still does to this day, even though it happened 5 years ago, is not like you. I'm not saying that you don't carry loss or remorse or guilt like everyone else. What I'm saying is that you understand how to process it typically faster. And there's something in here that it hurts twice as bad because you opened your heart towards it even though you knew it probably hurts you. And I think that's where the real source of your personal anguish is coming from. Not what they or the situation did or didn't do or failed to do, is that you allowed it in and then it hurt you knowing that you strongly suspected it would. You wanted to spend judgment of that, but you felt it. So that's what I'm saying. Lessons here that are needed, a gentle influence about self-worth. Where did this come from and why? That way it'll never happen again. And like I'm saying, you may or may not connect to that person or situation again. And I think you're going to be okay regardless. Okay. I do. I really believe that. Anything else here, please? 33. Joyful muse, inspiration. There it is. There's that gentle influence. Even the cat is soft. But it's joyful influence, inspiration. There it is. And they're going to have the talk with you about the many masks of the authentic self. 38. Even if you're wild, colorful, or you don't make sense to others, that's not the point. Do you understand what your self-worth is? You don't need to wear these masks of false fronts and false beliefs to get you through. Be who you are. There's that lovely influence right there. Music, painter, writer. Big visionary, but down to earth. Very nurturing, colorful palette. They're going to encourage you to understand who you are. You don't have to go around pretending like this didn't hurt you. It did. Own it. It's just what you need. 33, 38, and 15, like I said, Capricorn. This was really interesting today. I do hope this helped you. I understand if it didn't connect to all of you. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. This one was rather specific today, but nonetheless, I do hope it helped. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well.